Si mulisema nipange mambo ya afya, si mimi naendelea na kupanga mambo ya SHA ama namna gani? Si nyinyi ndio mtaamua kule mbele? Si 2027 nyinyi ndio mtaamua?
All right, that is President William Ruto. He was on a tour of Nairobi City County for 5 days, which Geoffrey Ruko says that the team was responding to the grievances of the county of Nairobi and the residents. Mheshimiwa Beatrice Elachi comes from that county. But let's talk about the far that you've come when it comes to implementation of these programs of President William Ruto. And let me begin with you, Mheshimiwa Kakai, here. On what your assessment is 2.5 years in of President Ruto?
I think I'm a strong believer is if it's working, don't try to fix it. And if there are issues to fix in the house, I mean, do them systematically. Actually, SHA has not performed the way it had planned to perform. There are lots of gaps that really need to be fixed. And it's not just the responsibility of the central government, but also the devolved unit to try and work together with the government to fix it. Actually, it's not been working, and it's the responsibility, even as we criticize sitting on the position, as we tell the government on how to be done, we still need to, and what I'm happy about is the government is now listening. Yep. Unlike in the past, when you point out what is not happening, it's, and to that realization, midway, this administration, I think it's not working, but it should work now. But also the governors must be involved, because health is a devolved function. Because I've seen situations where a governor says, I do not have medicine because SHA is not working. But remember also there is also a budget within the county government that is supposed to manage the health facilities. So in the actual sense, as the government is not performing on that particular medical issue, it's also been taken advantage of by the county governments who are supposed to be handling the health system for it not to operate. But the bottom line is it must work, because a sick nation cannot really move forward. So
what do you think has been the genesis of this challenge, if you had to narrow down to the universal health coverage program under SHA and SHIF?
The genesis of this has been, it's like it was a revolution, because NHIF was working. We should have built on the NHIF and found out what exactly has not been working on the NHIF and try to improve on that. But the total turnaround, it's been looked like, a quick changeover in a new administration. And health being a very critical item in any administration, I think that's where it went wrong. They should have just built up on the NHIF thing.
Did you see this?
And also the buy-in, because before there is a change in any system, there has to be a buy-in. And we keep on talking from a parliamentary terms, things like public participation, an example, buying from the common citizen, buying in from the county governments as well. So it was agreed at the government level, started rolling it out before also, bringing everybody on board. So that revolutionary sort of approach.
Did you see this as you are considering the 4 health bills in Parliament?
We saw it and we talked about it.
What do you mean?
I mean, when this was brought up about the SHA, we were sitting on the opposition side, on the Azimio side. We talked a lot about this. But from the Ruko side, I think they were tuned in to already, make it roll out. But we actually talked about, relooking at the SHA properly before it's actually rolled out.
Okay. Mheshimiwa Kagusha, what's your take on the challenges that the Social Health Authority has faced? And someone said that the Deputy President has been very vocal criticizing it. I think it was in the news, criticizing this program. Yet he was one of the major proponents in support of it, especially during those early days of consideration in Parliament and eventually implementation. What do you think has gone wrong?
I think Kenyans will need to understand that things are not static, as sometimes we think. When we were elected, the president did take us to Naivasha for 4 days, and we had a thorough understanding of those projects and the programs that the president was proposing to pass in Parliament. And when we looked at SHA, one of the promises that came with it is that we, the people who are earning more, were going to be deducted more, and then people who are upcountry and the people who are poor will be deducted less than 500 Kenya shillings. As Kagusha, when I hear that, I was encouraged that I'm going to be willing to pay a little bit more so that the people who are at the bottom of the pyramid, as you remember, we had the better program, the bottom-up economic model, then they are going to benefit more. And so for that reason, I was sold out to that agenda. When I looked at the way SHA was supposed to work, I was convinced it really was going to be a good program. And that is one of the reasons why I did pass it. In fact, I was one of the biggest proponents of SHA, as it were. Unfortunately, you know, this government has been accused of being deceptive and lying to Kenyans. I didn't know that I was actually being lied to all along. But you see, I had trusted and I had a lot of trust. And that's why every morning I came here, you know, I talked so much positively about the government, and I did market the SHA program and all that. But later on, I came to realize that what we were shown and what we passed was just supposed to be that. But now when it came to the implementation part of it, a few things that were not brought to the fore came out. Number one, the issue of deductions, yes, for those who are earning more, they were deducted more. I think now as members of parliament, from 1,700, we are now paying between 32,000 to 37,000, depending. Now, unfortunately, the people at the bottom of the pyramid, whom we had been promised that their deductions or their payments, remittances, is going to be from 500 to 300, most of them are now paying between 750 to 1050. I recently met a very elderly woman who lives in a mud house, who is actually getting money from the social support system in government, but she's being charged 1050. And she asked me, Kagusha, is this what you people, you know, promised? And I told her, I'm as astonished as it can be. So that is number one. Number two, when NHIF was folded up, the government did say that they are going to put up a new system. And it came to us as a surprise to us, as a big shock, that this system was going to cost us 104 billion Kenya shillings. And now the Auditor General has even brought even more intriguing information, that she has discovered as she was going through the books that a whopping 2.5% that is collected will be paid to the merchants of this system.
What percentage?
2.5%. Yeah, that is now factual information coming from the Auditor General of this republic. That 2.5% of this is going to be paid to the merchant of this system.
You see, of shift contributions.
Yeah. You see, now, this issue of the system was not part of what we passed in Parliament. It was not even in the program. Are you getting? That is now part of the implementation bit, which of course was hidden to us as we were passing this. And so that is where the deception comes from. And that is why I as Kagusha now, I find it very difficult.
And do you know who was behind this procurement?
Of course, it's the ministry. And of course, it's the government. It's the government. It's our government.
And Parliament was not able to ask questions?
No, the Parliament is asking. In fact, I remember the first people to raise the issue was a health committee. And I remember one of the agencies did take them to Mombasa to explain to them how the system was supposed to work and what the system was all about and all that and all that. But having said that, the chairman of the health committee is no longer chairman anymore. No. He has been demoted. He has been sacked.
Sorry. Just go back to the meeting in Mombasa.
Yeah.
Then what happened?
It happened. One of the agencies did take them to one of the hotels in Mombasa.
Which agency?
One of the people who are actually, you know, there are 3 institutions that are offering this system. Yeah.
You're talking about the consortium?
Yeah, the consortium
of Safaricom, Apero, and Convergence Solutions.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, so in this case, I think Safaricom did take them actually to a hotel in Mombasa where they were going to explain to them how the system was going to work and all that. And whatever happened in those closed-door meetings your guess is as good as mine. But
I have no
the committee.
So what was the outcome after that meeting?
I mean, the committee seemed to agree with them, but the committee was still asking many questions, but not asking them seriously enough. But all the same, The chairmanship of that committee is now not even there again. That has been already overrun. Those are some of the issues that have affected SHA. Now, when it comes to the issue of delivery now, you find that there's a part of SHA that is working okay. Like if you get normal admissions in hospital and normal surgery, you will be okay. You will have quite an amount paid for you. But oh, unto you, my friend, if you happen to go to HDU or ICU, if you happen to have a problem with your tooth or your eye, if you happen to have renal issues, oh, unto you, because you are going to fork so much out of your pocket because the system in that regard is not working well. The renal, for example, has been reduced to almost like an allocation of about 800,000 to about 350,000 to 400,000. That means that what you would have been getting if you're doing dialysis for 12 months, the amount of money which was available for you would be enough for 12 months before under NHIF. Right now it's going to be 6 months. And the issues that were supposed to be brought on board from NHIF that NHIF was not taking care of, like the issue of eyes, the optical, the issue of dental, issues of ICU, HDU, and those are the issues that are most difficult to Kenyans. If you happen to have that problem, then it will not be taken care of. I mean, if you have HDU or ICU patients, the amount of money that is being paid for them is just as much as the bed fee per night and per day.
All right.
So those are some of the issues that are not working well with the SHA.
All right. I'll get back to you. Mheshimiwa Elachi, your take on this particular program and what you think would be the solutions, because yes, the challenges have been highlighted. The ministry continues to say, no, it's working. We need unity to make sure that we are helping this system to work. But Kenyans continue to complain about challenges they face.
Well, first of all, for Nairobi, we will say a different story for SHA, for Nairobi, because in some of our hospitals, it is working. The biggest challenge with SHA, which we must sit down and ask ourselves how to reorganize, is that you see anyone who goes below level 3, level 4, at the primary, you remember those 4 bills?
Yeah.
So there was that primary level where you start, which is free.
Yeah.
That is why you now find yourself in such a headline, because they say it's free when Mwananchi is coming in. But this, we have to be honest and look at it, because indeed we shall pay a lot of ghost facilities because of that primary level. Because when you go now to level 4, what they do, it is they take you, they treat you, they do everything, so then they will send the bill to SHA. Now, how do you know? That this is the crisis of everything. So this system, this management system that we have.
Sorry, let me get this right.
Yes.
So primary healthcare facilities.
Yes. Before you are referred.
Yes.
Even if you go with your SHA, it is free. It means when we were saying that the government will be sending money to facilities, it is now the money that will come to the government to compensate them, the people they have treated. Where I'm finding it is now opening that corruption gap, because how? Yes, the system picks and says they've treated a large, they've treated some, yes. But here is where you can misuse again the system. So we must be very clear. Instead of saying at primary level is free, just say when you enter with your SHA number or whatever it is, ID, and then you are registered to SHA, start treating that person there. Let it come on the phone that I was in a primary facility called X, and I have been treated. And the patient can see also on phone. And then now, let's move now to this other. Now, when you're going to referral, now there it's easier because it tells you automatically that it tells you automatically you have used this system. So in terms of anything that is wrong with this system, it is the officers who are running this system who are there to tell us why is it that this system, either you sort of use it the way you want to use it, or you have refused to use it the right way, and you have just decided to corrupt it, because they know very well, if I use it the right way, you will know when somebody has, even now, ghost facilities, it is very easy to know if indeed they are using this system, because all those SMSs that were coming in, somebody has captured. So where is it?
Okay.
Where is that printout? So that we say, in this ghost facilities called this, and last time when I was here, I told the guys of SHA, can you come here, spend some of this money in these media stations and tell Kenyans, if you have a SHA, you can go to this hospital in Nairobi County, you'll go to Mama Lucy, you'll go to Mutuine, you'll go to Kawangware, Ruto here, you'll tell them. And as you go there, just know these are the primary hospitals.
Okay.
As you move to Kenyatta, just know you have to go when you are referred. But for me, all the patients who have been in Kenyatta, honestly, they have used SHA, and it has worked.
All right.
By yesterday even, we were taking a body at home that has been in an ICU of a mama who is now arrived. She has used SHA. The family only paid 7,000 shillings. Right. Yes, I know they were allowed.
7,000 was for what?
In ICU in Kenyatta, SHA is only, you need to fact check. SHA is only paying 4,400 in Kenyatta National Hospital for ICU per day. And also the primary health facilities, like a dispensary and a health center, SHA is also not catering. The health
But that's what I've just said.
The health CS has said that she needs a whopping 34 billion shillings from the exchequer, not from SHA now, to take care of that. Are you getting?
No, I thought that 34 billion shillings was for even other matters.
Other matters.
Because of the
yes.
draw of USAID funding. USAID.
No.
But now he has just taken...
It has nothing to do with USAID. But the USAID thing is going to hit us later. The presentation that the CS did to us in Parliament, that time USAID
I was talking about Nairobi.
You remember, and I think you were seated not very far from...
I was talking about what is doing in Nairobi.
Yeah. So what I'm saying, the presentation that was done in Parliament by the CS Deborah, she put it clearly that for this primary health care arrangement to work, she needs a whopping 34 billion Kenya shillings. There is a deficit in the budget.
Okay. The challenge is, Mheshimiwa Kagushi,
it is not working so far.
It's actually higher than that, because for it to work, it needs, they said, the estimate was 50 billion shillings. But the house that you sit in allocated 4 billion shillings for the current financial year. There's a supplementary budget that has been brought to raise it, I think, to about 7 billion shillings or thereabout. We'll check on that.
But let me ask Sam. I am still not agreeing with anyone. You know why? You cannot be throwing to us, you need 34 how? How did you estimate on us in what?
No, I think she did explain. It's because she did explain and took us through. But what also she did not do, and what they are not doing properly also as a ministry, is to explain to us how much is it that we are collecting from the people. How much are we collecting, for example, from Parliament? Although I'm also now seeing here that they are saying
not even how much.
That the agencies are also not handing in their SHA deductions. So it means that we as Kenyans are also in double jeopardy.
I just wanted to explain, Mheshimiwa, so that I can cross to...
Just 1 minute.
Mheshimiwa, just a moment. So you're asking how did they arrive at 50 billion shillings?
No, this is what I wanted us.
They said, and if you look at the regulations that were also endorsed by Parliament, 900 shillings for primary health coverage per person in the country. You have a population of, say, between 50 and 55 million. If you multiply that by 900 shillings, it gives you 49.5 billion shillings, which is what is required to run primary health care program efficiently. But the allocation that you passed in the House is 4 billion shillings. Surely
so now, let me just clear that one. Let me clear that one, sir. Mine is to ask the Ministry of Health, how many people have registered SHA? You need to correct figures, because you can't tell me you'll just be remitting 900 because we have 55 million people. Kwani all of us worked in a hospital in the day. And all of us are sick in Kenya now. No, it will be very wrong.
Now, Mheshimiwa, it's universal health
the question she's asking is very good, Elachi. She's asking... we need to know. We need to know. That's okay. But she's asking. We need to know how many people have registered in SHA. But we also need to know not only how many have registered, but how many have registered and paying.
All of us are paying. Anyone registered, you are paying.
I think those figures are actually available. They've been sharing them from time to time, but maybe not.
So we are sick every day.
Much,
every Kenyan walks into hospital.
Publicity as required. Mheshimiwa Ruto, what do we do with this challenge?
The number of Kenyans who have been registered in SHA are 19.7 million at the moment. And this is a very huge increase from 8 million which were under the NHIF. Of course, we have 542 community health promoters who have been trained across the Republic of Kenya. And at the moment, we have Taiva Care Call Center. Anybody can be able to call or to dial 147, and any issue concerning SHA can be taken care of.
Okay.
That is for SHA members, for all health providers, employers, as well as health workers, and any technical issue which is arising in terms of getting sorted. That's in this SHA, you will be assisted by...
So out of that figure of 19.7 million that have registered, how many are contributing, if you know?
All of them.
How much?
I don't know.
How can you say that all of them are contributing? I mean...
Can't be all of them contributing.
I'm assuming that all of them are contributing, but the figures which, the total amount of money which has been contributed so far, I don't know.
Why would you assume things, honestly, Mheshimiwa Ruto? I mean, you are very confident that 19.7 million Kenyans have been registered.
We can check
under SHA.
We can check the amount if need be quickly and see how much has been contributed so far. But the thing is, Sam, the SHA has its own teething problems, which the professionals running this system should be able to take care of them. These teething problems are under Ministry of Health, as well as the Social Health Authority, the CEO and the board and top management of these institutions, as well as the PSs and minister in charge of health. They should be able to take care of these teething problems which are arising. Nobody in the Republic of Kenya should go through, what many have been going through because of charges coming up as a result of technical issues. I don't know, the system is down, or the system is not working, or there's something which is not well explained to the patient. I think there is a lot that has to be done from the side of the ministry. And also, the ministry should understand that it's not a work of we, the politicians, to come here and explain to Kenyans how the SHA is running and how it should be running. That's not our responsibility. Our responsibility was...
Why is Ruto feeling obliged to explain?
Let me
He's a parliamentarian, he should oversight the ministry.
Allow him.
Let me finish my statement. Our responsibility was to come up with a regulation, which we did, about the implementation, about the technical aspect of management. For instance, Sam, we understand that 2.5% of the money contributed by Kenyans is going to some escrow account in terms of taking care of management issues of these SHA system. Also, I understand there is another amount of money which will be paid every end of every financial year to the providers of the system. These are questions which, as people given powers by the Constitution to do oversight, we should be able to ask family. And I think the Committee of Health, in the National Assembly as well as the Senate, they should be able to ask these questions and bring a report to the National Assembly with clear answers. So there are issues as far as the system is concerned, but there are efforts in terms of trying to resolve these issues, and that's why I've said we have Taiva Care Call Center at the moment, which has been put in place. And
how long has it existed?
I think for a few days now, and it's not more than a week. And any Kenyan can dial 147 and ask any question, and you'll be answered. So there is improvement. There's improvement in the right direction. But the issues which need to be settled, as far as SHA is concerned, there are quite many.
According to the system that the Ministry of Health is using to manage the registration process.
What is that you are Googling there, Sam?
What is it, the time?
What have you been, because I have been checking, you are Googling something.
So as of 6th of March 2025, there were 20.2 million registrations. But in a report that was given by the Director General of Health, that is Dr. Patrick Amoth, I believe it was 11th or 12th of February of 2025, only 3.6 million Kenyans had been taken through the means testing instrument.
Yeah.
And they were contributing an average of 584 shillings.
Okay.
In as far as the figures collected, the Cabinet Secretary told the Senate earlier this month, or is it late February, that 20-point-something billion, it was in February, 20 billion shillings had been contributed and 18.2 billion shillings had been paid out to health facilities. So really, if it's about information, it is accessible, but the challenges still persist, and that's what we're trying to see if there are any ways of resolving
I think
them.
the challenge is...
That's what I wanted to say.
Yes,
we can't continue talking about teething problems.
Yeah.
Teething problems, really, Honorable Ruko, were when we had a problem with marrying the NHIF system and the SHA system and exporting people from this side to the other side, the issue of where the MD is to sit from this side or where the board is to meet or who is going to, administer what. Those were the teething problems that happened within the first 1, 2, 3 months. But as we are now talking, we are no longer talking about the teething problems. We are talking about sound policy issues. For example, when we say that we do not have a benefit and tariff review committee that is supposed to be reviewing these benefits that are accrued to members who are contributing, that is not a teething problem. It's just a committee that has not been set up. And if it has been set up, which I am not aware of, it is not working. When of course, we say, Ruko want to put it very lightly, that an escrow account has been opened to put money for administration of the system. But the truth of the matter is 2.5% of the monies that is being contributed, so you need to calculate this 20 billion that was contributed. Take 2.5% of that money, it has been given to the profiteering corporate merchants who are the providers of this system for their own profits. Now, if again, you want to understand what Ruko is saying that we need to ask, there is an amount, the 104 billion Kenya shillings, that is being paid to the same merchants to purchase that particular system. Now, this system that we are purchasing at 104 billion Kenya shillings, again, is also not ready. It has only 1 or 2 modules that are ready. Most of the modules will most likely be ready, I think, in 2027, 2028, according to the merchants themselves. Because some of the modules that are supposed to manage what Beatrice Elachie is referring to, which is going to help prevent fraud and corruption, are not working, and they are not going to be working in the short term.
What's your point? The procurement of the system was wrong? And if yes, what do we do?
The whole issue of how we have implemented and handled the SHA program is wrong. And clearly, what now appears to me as Kagushia is that this whole thing of SHA was never about providing more efficient services to Kenyans. It was about much more about profit and business and commercial interests, which came in terms of the system and the deductions that are going to be paid to the merchants every month. Otherwise, in fact, I now agree with the people who asked, why wouldn't we have enhanced NHIF and improve it and ensure that the services and it meets the demands of Kenyans and ensure that we have a more proficient and a more efficient upgrade of the system, which would have cost us less than $1 billion to ensure that we curb issues of corruption and such.
Sam.
Are you getting? So that is what is appearing.
Sorry, Mheshimiwa Kakai has been quiet for some time. So with all these challenges, and the Auditor General has flagged the procurement of this system, and you have had responses from across board, including the President himself saying that I brought on board a consortium so that we can deal with the corruption that was with the NHIF. And he even said that the people that are making noise now are people who are benefiting from the previous system. So already there's a problem here. How do we own it and resolve it, especially for those in the political space?
Okay. I think every opportunity, comes up and, shapes us on how we have to handle the future. In any system before it's rolled out, there's what we call piloting. Now, in this particular case, you realize I used the word revolution when I first spoke here. We really hurried it. We should have had an opportunity to run a pilot. Let's say we're running a pilot in a certain county and see how it works. But in a summary, we are mid-sea. We have this share with us, and we must fix it. Whatever we do, we have to talk about solutions.
Yeah.
To summarize it, the 3 C's, and one, I'll talk about cooperation. Central government and county government. Because the county government also have budgets, because health is devolved. And the best example I could pick is Muranga. It's working in Muranga. Because Governor Kangata has decided to work with the government as one of the partners. So cooperation as the first C. The second C is coordination. We need to coordinate, including all the private sector. An example, I realized there was a day the system was not working. Did we hold accountable Safaricom, an example? If we're talking about the procurement processes, what type of contract did we put in place to hold those people we bought the systems from?
He says the system is not ready. So what was Safaricom resolving?
There is a system, part of it is being supported by Safaricom. There is a system also that have to access patients. Sometimes accessibility is a problem. Now, in terms of our contracting systems, the contracts we put in place, do we have an example, liquidated damages? How do we hold these particular entities accountable? Now, communication is my third C. Where is the ministry? They should be seated here now articulating where we are and where we are headed to. They should be out there doing a lot of publicity, being in the field, working with the counties. So in summary, cooperation, coordination, and communication. If this is fixed and realize that we are mid-sea, everyone is in this, because by the end of the day, we must have a good health system for our people, whether in the national government, whether in the county government. So it's a joint effort, and we must address these 3 C's to be able to fix this problem, and we must fix it quickly.
Some also, I think, just to add on what Mheshimiwa said, the health facility readiness is a very critical factor. All these facilities should be ready to handle this system. And it seems some of the facilities are not well equipped in terms of handling the SHA.
What do they need?
To ensure there is proper infrastructure. There is a system to ensure, because you have to key in your information.
You think they don't have those?
Probably there are some facilities, health facilities.
No, because the 104 billion shilling program that the 3 companies forming the consortium signed with the Ministry of Health, it was to do exactly what you're saying. They're supposed to plug, the hospitals are just supposed to plug in. Everything was to be provided. In fact, they were to come up with, even with gadgets. that would go to the lowest level of hospitals.
Correct.
And Mheshimiwa here says that, Mheshimiwa Kagusha says that
but also it's important
the system
to say,
will only be ready in 2027 in full. So what do you want hospitals to do to get ready for this?
As far as the Ministry of Health is concerned, it should ensure that all the facilities in the Republic of Kenya, health facilities in the Republic of Kenya, have the necessary equipment for implementation of this system.
That's what I'm asking, Mheshimiwa.
So the question is, as my brother said, the Minister in charge of health should be telling us, are all the facilities, health facilities in the Republic of Kenya properly equipped in terms of administering SHA?
But you see,
are you painting the desirable, or it's based from a point of information of the systems or the equipment that is available or not? Because before SHA, there was NHIF. Hospitals were able to manipulate the system. And I mean manipulate to mean to use the system.
One of the key objectives of SHA is to be able to locate the medicine or the drugs batches, that you're able to say, this batch of drugs moved from KEMSA all the way to a dispensary in my constituency in Kadanje, and they can be traced that indeed that is where the drugs are. That system should be able to do that. It was not there before NHIF. That's a question also I'm asking.
No, but Sam, the most important thing, 98% of health is devolved.
Yes.
Do you know it is for the governor? If a governor decides his county SHA will work, it will work. But then the ministry also should be very clear in terms of just telling us, as you start working with them, they are able to give you your primary amounts of money on this level, and you must have the system. So even this of saying you have to wait until 2027. So if my county is functioning and I'm moving, I need the system. I need the system to help me to know all my primary health cares are working. My medication from KEMSA is working, because this system was supposed to plug in even KEMSA so that you know how the drugs are going to your county.
And that's
how
but that system of 104 billion shillings is not ready, is it?
Well, I don't want to say ready or not ready. If it is not ready, then there is a big problem.
Is it being implemented as you speak?
Well, for me, I don't want to say I assume. They cannot tell me SHA is working and you have not plugged. And last time when I was here, what did I say? I am hoping the system is holding the key health institutions that we need, KEMSA, KNH, all those.
Coordination. Sam, let's not belabor the point. Yeah. We agree, the four of us here, SHA system is not working.
No, we have not agreed, because Nairobi County...
You are the last person to talk about that. But anyway...
No.
We've talked Murang'a. Murang'a is working.
I know they are very...
I've said it is for each governor.
I know there are very serious ramifications for members of parliament to say something...
For me?
To say anything
for
in executive is not working.
For Kagushia.
But let me say this, as Kagushia, I want to say it's not working.
Good.
And I also want to give hope to Kenyans.
What are these serious
ramifications? There are a few things, of course you know them, there are a few things that we are going to be doing to push executive to perform better on this SHA. And Kenyans will be seeing some of the issues that we are doing. Like now you see I'm on this campaign about buying of the supplies for blood testing in our republic. I'm on this campaign for the whole week. I'll push it even to the next week. And we are coming back now to the SHA issue in a more stronger way. But let me say this. The issue of counties, we have to agree that, yes, health is devolved, but the most inefficient system in this republic has been the health devolvement in the counties. It has never really worked since the time we devolved. And one would only have hoped that, that by introduction of SHA, then it was going to boost or probably help the efficiency of our counties to perform better. But now it seems like SHA has come to incapacitate the already incapacitated health systems in the counties. And that has only made the issue worse. I want to tell my brother Kakai here. Yes.
So Murang'a is not working.
Just let me point out here. I know for sure. He has pointed out the issue of Murang'a. And you know, Murang'a is one of the counties that has worked so hard to ensure that they improve the efficiency of their system. And they were working already so well with NHIF anyway. But Kangata, in his Murang'a county, will not do anything more than what SHA can offer. If SHA cannot pay for ICU beyond the bed fee, Murang'a will not pay it because SHA is not paying. They cannot operate outside of the parameters of the policy. So what we are saying, and my brothers and my sister here, what we need to do as members of parliament, we must now push the ministry to, for example, set up this benefit and tariff review committee so that they can review this ICU and HDU tariff. So that they stop paying 4,400 of ICU in Kenyatta National Hospital. Instead, they pay 30,000.
Okay, all right.
Are you getting? So that's what we must do.
I think what you've agreed is that there's a problem. There's an issue with the tariff package.
Yes.
There's an issue about communication on where we are. There's an issue with the system that is 104 billion shillings. How far are we in the implementation of that particular system? And also on the question of contributions, what are the figures and what is...
There's another issue, Sam.
No, I want us to transition, Mheshimiwa Ruto. No,
so those are the solutions.
Yeah.
Because
those are the issues that we need it's an issue. It's a big...
Yeah, but you don't say we have agreed. We are saying we have solutions.
Transition.
That's what I wanted, solutions.
Let us transition to the question of the affordable housing program, because the promise, which Mheshimiwa Kagushia sold very eloquently, that the government would ensure that there's at least 250,000 affordable housing units every year. Later on, the explanation was that already the market was providing 50,000 units. So the question was on how they bridge the gap of 200,000. Now, since August 2022 up until early this year, only 4,888 units were ready, according to the figures of the government, including the president himself. Mheshimiwa Ruto, what has been happening? What is the challenge here with affordable housing? You're not meeting your targets or the pledges.
Not getting near.
What the information I have, Sam, is that we have about 130,000 units which are under construction at the moment.
Under construction?
Yes. And
what stage of construction?
Different stages of construction. Different stages of construction. Some of them complete.
No. If you're under construction, you're complete. You're no longer in that category.
130,000 units of housing, affordable housing under construction, and they are all in different stages.
There's not even a range, like what percentage is at the inception, design, what percentage is finishing, what percentage is shell is done? No information.
It depends. I mean, some of them are.
Yeah, no, it depends. I'm asking, do you have information or not?
I don't have information on, let's say, for instance, in Nairobi, we have units which are probably 60%. We saw where the president went.
What does 60% mean? Just to know what you're saying.
60%? It may have different meaning depending on if you visit and see.
You know what you're saying. So you're saying some units in Nairobi are 50% completion. What does that mean?
Sam, let me say this.
Yeah.
I'm not an engineer. Okay?
Okay, fair point.
So don't ask me on what I need to tell you is the information which I have. Is that 130,000 units of affordable housing are under construction
that's still below the 200,000 revised promise.
Below what?
Per year.
Yes, it is below the what was promised, but the thing is, are we on the right trajectory as far as providing the affordable housing to Kenyans? The answer is yes. That is what is more important. Okay?
What does right trajectory look like?
In 2022, Sam, we had only 8,000 units of affordable houses. Within 2 years, we are talking about 130,000 units which are under construction at different stages.
8,000 units were under construction, or what was the status?
Yes, in 2022. By the time this administration was coming to power, under the previous administration, we had 8,000 units under construction. Okay, some of them are complete, of course, at the moment, but it's a huge leap from 8,000 units to 130,000 units. So we are in the right trajectory. We may not have hit the 200,000 mark, which you have just quoted, but per year, but we are headed in the right direction. Of course, the implementation of any program has its own challenges, as Mheshimiwa Kaikai has just pointed out. So these are some of the challenges. Of course, the running curve is there. You know, as you perfect the implementation of the program, you tend to increase the pace on the number.
Do you know how much money has been collected through the affordable housing levy?
We can check.
You don't know how much it is?
We can check.
Okay. Mheshimiwa Elachi, the challenge of those numbers, the promise is quite lucrative. It looks delivery, totally different story.
Yes, because this is housing. Kenya is not Tanzania where land is for government. This is everyone has its land. You must have serious public participation before you take any land. So I think that, that is one thing, especially in Nairobi, I will say, the planners assumed so many things. And they forgot you cannot just walk in, fine, you might find it's government land, but people are living there. What happens? You can't just chuck them out the way you are thinking. So one of the things you must take in consideration for them themselves, what they didn't do, is to imagine that you will stay 3, 4, 5 to 6, even to 1 year, negotiating on how. I can see like Makongeni, they have stayed like 8 months negotiating. Is when just recently they have left. But having said that, you see, for us in ODM, we had agreed we shall do this housing thing. Our style maybe would have been different because most of the people in Nairobi are ODM, and we knew you'll have to have a way of doing it. It was with Uhuru, that's why he could not do it. because of compensation. But then now, coming to this, I would say in Nairobi at the moment, the sites that are, leave the ones the president was launching last week, because those are now the coming up sites, which they've just, they were just doing groundbreaking and all that. But then the ones that have now come up, and I want to tell Nairobians, you must go for these houses. One, Shaurimoyo, 80%. It's in completion now, Shaurimoyo. Then you come to Jalas's.
80%?
As in, they have roofed, they have done. It's the nitty-gritties of doing your interior, the small interior that they would wish to do inside.
And have they given time, how much it
no,
should take?
I didn't see time, but I walked in and I saw them. They're there.
Okay.
At Shaurimoyo. Somebody can go, just
so
check.
interior meaning the plastering?
Yeah. Well, they've done the plastering. They've done the plastering. So it's like painting and putting in small cupboards and all those things. The normal way you do your house, at the finishing of your house.
Okay.
Now, when you come to Jalas's place down at Riara and you move in, it's also going to 70% because they have finished all, they have plastered inside all, now they are finalizing, and there's one down that has started that is now, when you go there, you'll find it quite at a level.
Yeah.
Then now when you live there, the one for KJ side is just starting. So every site has its own way of how they are doing. Outside the...
And do you know how many units you're talking about? Like the Shaurimoyo, how many units are we talking about?
The Shaurimoyo should be 5,000 or 6,000 something there, units. The one for Jalas here...
506,000 units?
I'm just saying approx. I'm saying approx. I'll be lying on TV.
Shaurimoyo should be?
Roughly 5,000 or 6,000 units.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
5,000 or 6,000.
In Jalas's place, the two might come to 10,000 if you put the two places that are being done. And then the one that was launched now, after they have really negotiated that, the one that it's being called Southlands, that will take quite a huge number of units because it's roughly on a 37-acre land there. But you see, for you to negotiate and remove all those people who are there, it's not an easy thing. Okay. Then you move to Mathare, the same.
All right.
So, and then we have Ziwani. Ziwani started long before. Started even by the time a former president was still there. And so right now... So no units, have been allocated, at least within your constituency? Within our constituency, it's a freehold land. That's what I'm saying. You can only negotiate with the landlords there.
All right.
So in Dagoretti North, no. Unless these private ones that are on this other side.
All right. Mheshimiwa Kagushia, so the essence of a promise is how you deliver it and eventually how you get to benefit from it. What is the status of affordable housing in your constituency or county, if you know?
I'll give for Mukurweini constituency.
Yeah.
And this is where I sharply differ with my sister here, Elachi, because she says that...
Why?
Because of course you see the public land that we are using to build these government houses.
Yeah, outside Nairobi. We don't have public land in Nairobi. We have county land, and the government must negotiate with us.
Let me first of all differ with you, so that you understand where I'm differing with you. Then you can answer. I've not yet...
It's okay, Mheshimiwa Kagushia, don't be distracted.
So in Mukurweini, for example, we did offer public land from the county government, and a letter of transfer was done, or more than 1 year ago, from the county government of Nyeri. But these affordable houses have never begun.
How many acres did you transfer?
I think it should be like an acre.
1 acre?
Yeah. That was given to
government. How many units?
Well, we were supposed to do 200 units, but even then, they have not begun all this time. And
any explanation why?
Well, I don't understand why. It has been advertised at some point, or it was supposed to be advertised at some point. I have followed through, but as we talk now, the advertisement for these the construction of these affordable houses has not begun. And this is where I find the government is not able to meet its target. And you need to know that when the government promised to do 200 200,000 houses per year, the government also went ahead to deduct Kenyans sufficient money to do these houses. 200,000 per year.
Courtesy of Kenya Kwanza.
Are you getting?
When he was there.
Yes, that is a problem. And we at that point actually saw the promise. And we thought that the promise was going to work for the people of Kenya. Are you getting? So, you know, me as Kagusha have to be honest. I really believed in William's promise.
You mean President Ruto?
Yes, I did believe so much in that promise. And I so much believed that this was going to happen. But now look, as we move on, you realize that out of the 200,000 houses that we promised, yep, we have, in 2.7 years, we've only been able to do 4,800 houses. I mean, that is where now again you come now to agree.
Does his figure offer any solace?
You see, that figure of 130 would neither be here nor there. Because he's talking about houses that are not completed. Kenyans are looking at houses that are complete. Number two, even if we were to go with his figure, it only means that then we are doing about 50,000 houses per annum after having promised 200,000 shillings and collecting money for 200,000 houses. Are you getting? That's how much we are collecting from Kenyans. And now the question begs, we are getting free land to construct these houses. The money we are using to construct these houses is coming from Kenyans, not from the government. You know, sometimes we make it appear like it's coming from the government. It's coming from pay slips from Kenyans. Now, after these houses, the 4,800 houses have now been completed, it has come as a shocker to Kenyans that the much they are selling these houses is just as much as the commercial houses are being sold in the city and also around. Yeah, like some of them that were being offered somewhere, I think, at the river. A one-bedroom house was being offered at 2 million. Are you getting? Now, that's a big shocker for us and as for Kenyans, because in the same place, a similar size of that, or an equivalent size of that house that is affordable housing, is being offered close to the same amount of money. And this land was for free, and the money used to construct was again from Kenyans. So where are we selling these houses almost the same amount, and in some instances even higher? Are you getting? Now, the other question also begs, once we have sold these houses, where is this money going? You know, where is this money going? And this is where I want to help Kenyans, and I also want to help now and help Mr. Ruto's government here. That as we sell these houses,
also your government.
As we sell these houses,
it's Kenya's government. It's not my. Can you correct him?
I mean, you should hold this with a badge of honor.
It is the government of the Republic of Kenya.
He just said
why is he pointing out?
He just said it's your government.
You should hold this with a badge of honor. You should say thank you.
It's a government of all of us.
Let me focus.
Is it wrong what he said?
You know, he's talking in a very.
Let me focus on the issue here. The issue here is. Because we have collected so much money now from Kenyans.
Do you know how much it is?
I mean, you can get, sometimes they're not giving us these figures, but we have collected sufficient money to do these 200,000 houses every year. So you can say we have already collected money to do more than 500,000 houses.
But how much would 200,000 units cost to construct, Mheshimiwa?
Well, let me complete this point, then I come to answer your question. The point here is we have collected sufficient money to do more than 500,000 houses today in Kenya. Now, these houses are all going to be sold eventually when they are constructed. Never mind, they might be finished in the next 10 years. Why should we continue deducting Kenyans' money if at all we are not building at that rate and at that pace? Number two, because these houses are going to be sold and we are going to get this money back, why can't we now see the much we have collected from Kenyans is enough, and every other construction will be coming from the revolving fund, from the money that we'll be getting from the sale of these houses, so that we do not have now two collections. You know, we can't be collecting now from the sale of the houses as we continue collecting from the pay slips. So we must then take care of the pay slip of every Kenyan by stopping immediately deductions. Then we work with what we have collected and how much we...
How would you stop that? What instrument do you need?
I mean, we just need to do an amendment to the Housing Act that was done.
Affordable Housing Act?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Thank you much more. We would benefit more if we had the figures of how much it takes to construct 200,000 units, how much money we have collected so far, so that you can do the math and see how we verify what you're saying. But
by next month, when we go back to Parliament,
yes,
that is one of the questions I'm going to be asking the Minister for Housing and Land, so that we can get that feedback. Then when we come back, I'll come with it.
Tell me, in Kiminini, what is the progress there? Because arithmetically, and this is not based on anything but arithmetic, if you need 200,000 units every other year, and you divide that by the 290 constituencies, you end up with about 689 units per constituency. There are some constituencies you hear here being mentioned that they have 10,000 units, others have 5,000 to 6,000 units. Mukureni, like he says, has 200. So where is equity in distribution of these affordable housing units? You can respond to that as you tell us the situation in Kiminini.
Okay. First of all, at this point, allow me to reveal that I sit on the Housing Committee.
Oh.
To start with the issues, the bottlenecks, there's been the issue of uptake, the capacity of local contractors. And I think a few weeks ago, when we were looking at the supplementary budget, sitting with the housing team led by the PS Charles Hinga, there were proposals from the committee, and one here, we were saying, apart from just the local contractors, to try and hands on PPPs, the public-private partnerships, whereby if we've got farms that have got the financing, they could also come up and really support so that we could fast-track that. The other issue is we've got NHC, the National Housing Corporation, which was created in the 60s with experience in the housing sector, also to be used. We've seen a situation, an example in Embu, where they were given a project and they did it on record time. And also the cost was quite impressive, and even the finishing was quite great. Now, another critical bit is the Public Works. Public Works State Department, really underfunded. But it will be a very critical player in terms of even supporting the State Department for housing. Okay. So where we sit in the Housing Committee to try and boost this particular State Department, Public Works, so they can also be a partner to try and enhance the rollout and then increasing the numbers. NCA as well, the National Construction Authority, we've also told them to look into the quality bit. Okay. So that they're also all over on site. But critical is not just affordable housing.
How is it in Kiminini first?
Now, allow me just to run through a bit before I get to Kiminini.
It's 804. We need to.
Okay, 804. Okay, fine. Yes. Now, in Kiminini, there's the issue of land. You have to avail land. Kiminini is densely populated. We've had challenges of land, but we've just identified piece of land. Now we're going to put the units.
So there's none under construction?
There's none, but we've just identified the land.
How much land? What's
about 5 acres.
5 acres.
And there was an agreement that in every constituency, they'll put up 200 units for every constituency, depending on the demands.
So Kiminini also is 200 units?
We are looking at 200 units.
Does that bother you,
if not more,
with the national target of 200,000?
It bothers me because, okay, that was the minimum. But with the land I have, I know we could go up to 1,000. But in a nutshell, the advantage of that affordable housing, apart from just the houses, there is the sewer system that will have to be put in place, access roads, water, lighting. There are also advantages.
As soon as you now saying you have 5 acres.
Yes.
Minimum of 200 acres. Do you know how much it will require to put them up?
To put them up, I will take an average per square meter. You're talking about. You're talking about 40,000 per square meter per house. And let's say an average flat is about 78 square meters, so that should be about 3.4 million. So an example, if you're assuming that you will do like, let's say 200 units, an example, to start with on average, that should be about 684 million.
What is the process of getting that money?
The process, I mean, it's through the collected funds. There is a bid that goes out after the land has been identified. A contractor is picked, and that contractor is sent on site.
Contractor?
Yes, a local contractor.
And how do you pay for that?
The houses, once they're constructed, they will be floated. There's what we call bomayangu. If you're interested in a house, and I had my sister be here.
The contractor invests their money?
The contractor, once you bid for a building, you also show capacity that you're able to contract.
Yeah, you invest.
So okay, to invest, yes.
So the contractor will come on site, win the bid, finance the construction with his money?
There are two models. There is the contractor who is paid on certificate. You do the mobilization, you're paid this percentage. And that's why the public works come in. And that progress continues.
I'm asking currently, what is happening?
Currently,
that's the model they use.
That is the model now. It is the contractor. You're paid progressively as you move. But we are saying, if you brought in a financier through the PPPs, some of them could also come in with their funding. And if we get even more of those, that is probably a model that in the future we'll think of saying, let's stop this. Let's stop these deductions and think of PPPs.
And at the Housing Committee, do you know how much money has been collected so far?
I do not want to talk on national television on the figures I don't have. Let me admit that I don't have those figures now.
The Housing Committee has not.
But what I know as of last month, there was some, I think, about 30 billion that has not been utilized.
30 billion has not been utilized, but you don't know how much money has been collected since.
So far, I don't want the
Although it was 30 billion last year, not now.
Okay.
But Kagusha, would you be saying the same if you hadn't moved from government?
Again, we have work
we are talking of facts.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kagusha,
a lot of work.
Time. There's so much work to do there, especially on the figures and the amount of money available, the number of units under construction, what stages are they, because this information is important for the sake of accountability to Kenyans. Do you have time for feedback on what Kenyans are saying? Citizen TV Kenya, Sam Gituku, they're stuck to use the Citizen Daybreak on the two conversations we've held. Bob Otieno on the first one. It was a welcome and a bold move by Archbishop Sapit to bar politicians from speaking and directing how they should give out their donations to the church. Engineer Lazaro, churches shouldn't be turned into cheap political gatherings, and this memo should be applicable to all parties. I'm now a proud Anglican. We should lead by example. Washika Ken, you're saying that if everyone in government is looking at the amount of cash SHA is collecting, we shall never witness the efficiency of it. They'll be all out waiting for kickbacks. Honestly, NHIF was better than SHA. Patients have attested to this. Bob Otieno again, President Ruto's first half was on a roller coaster until the Gen Z came, and with the impeachment of his former DP Rigathi Gachagua, implications with SHA Kenya has derailed his scorecard. Then Frank Orinde is saying that Ruto's first half is underwhelming given his overambitious promises. High cost of living is the order of the day, tax burden, healthcare crisis, and education challenges, job creation shortfall, and Kenya Kwanza foreign policy stumbles. Incompetence sums it up. That's Frank Orinde. And of course, there can be as many opinions as there are people. Thank you so much, Geoffrey Ruku from Bere North, Mheshimiwa Beatrice Elachi from Dagoretti North, Mukureni, should I say North?
Is Mukureni.
Just one. John Kagusha and Kiminini Morris Kakai Bisau for making time for us. And I hope you enjoyed your first show on Daybreak.
Bullied a bit, but it's okay.
Yeah. All right. He says something I will not repeat. Up next is Sporty Monday. The team is here to talk about the action on the different fields and pitches. My name is Sam Gituku. See you again some other time. Bye for now.